is the perfect striker for Manchester United? This is an urgent topic. If you look at the stats for goals per 90 and non-penalty expected goals per 90, which is the measure of the quality of chance a player gets into, no one is close to Marcus Rashford. And in the league, Manchester United are a little low for goals per 90, a little lower than they probably want to be. But the answer isn't as simple as plug in goal scoring striker and get more goals. Our signing needs to fit the remit of an Erik ten Hag profile and not harm the form of Marcus Rashford. You see, Rashford has done extremely well this season to rotate inside and exploit the blind spot of an opposition centre-back. You can see it in so many goals where he's moved off the fullback and dips away from the centre-back. It leaves both defenders essentially in the midst of who should be tracking him. Now, a good striker should be as much as a facilitator as they are a goal scorer. Yes, get on the end of chances, particularly crosses coming in from the right through Antony. Yes, find the right zones in the box. But if they're just going to hog the centre, be immovable and mean that United become less fluid in attack, it's only going to hurt the movements of Rashford. So our recruit should be number 1, a good finisher taking advantage of small chances. 2, they should be versatile. They should be able to rotate wide and let other players fill central spaces. And 3, they should remain a striker at heart. Fit the Ten Hag model of being a bit stronger, a bit taller, adding a new dynamic like Sebastian Haller at Ajax, Kasper Dolberg, etc. So let's start with candidate number 1. Harry Kane. Now, Kane needs no introduction, blah blah blah, 29-year-old striker, top goal scorer in Spurs history. But he specialises now in dropping off defensive lines and looking to turn and play passes to teammates running in behind. But don't let that take away from his finishing. Last season was the only one in the Premier League career on record where he finished below his expected goal tally. He's top of the league this season for headed goals and is a good one-touch finisher. People are even saying he could link up nicely with Rashford, Rashford being that younger version of Heung-min Son, running in behind to score goals. Except I don't think that's how Rashford plays. Look at the goals he scores. He's typically taking advantage of deep blocks and just being well positioned in the box, not just taking advantage of using pace to run in behind. It's not to say Harry Kane is a terrible fit though. He's winning a good amount of aerial duels per 90. I think he fits the Ten Hag bill of a striker who backs into defenders. Where he might fall down though is rotating out wide and filling the wider spaces. I don't think he's got the legs for that anymore. Yes, he may have avoided injury for the last couple of years, but that doesn't mean he's as fit as he once was. Now, his contract may be up next year, but at 29, I don't know if this is the right move. I think it's worth exploring other options like candidate number 2, Victor Osimhen. Now, Osimhen is a glorious striker. He adds a totally new dynamic to this United team. 24, fast and extremely powerful, he's lethal not only inside the box but also exploiting the last line of defence. Osimhen could be summed up with 2 goal examples. The first one is the continuous one we see where he picks a run between defenders, gets in behind and converts a shot from a low XG position. And the other, well, is him out-leaping the goalkeeper to head the ball into the net. I've been watching him since his Lille days. I'm a huge fan of him, from the way he plays to his story, growing up in Lagos after his mum died, having to help his dad pay the bills. A good finisher? Absolutely check. 21 non-penalty goals in Serie A this season. Mwah. Versatile? Somewhat. His heat map may paint a different picture, but Osimhen does like to dip a little wide and race in behind through gaps of defences. A Ten Hag striker? I'm not 100%. Osimhen's game this season has kind of revolved around taking as little part in build-up play as possible. He's bottom of the squad for touches per 90 on 27.4. Adjust that for possession and compare the stats with Haller at Ajax last season and you'll see there is a bit of a difference between Ten Hag's preferred profile of striker and Victor Osimhen. Now, he is young and he's talented. I think he could probably fill the mould of the Erik ten Hag profile as he goes on. But considering the astronomical price he'll come in and the fact United have to fill the goalkeeping slot this summer and the right back slot, I think it's worth exploring one last candidate. Goncalo Ramos. Ramos is a Portuguese 21-year-old striker who has come through at Benfica and is currently one of the top scorers in Europe. He also scored a hat-trick in the World Cup. He's been slowly breaking into the Benfica side, scoring goals last season, actually operating wide on the left at times. But this year, in the absence of Darwin Núñez, he's stepped up big time. But what I love most about him is his movement across the front post. When I'm thinking of Manchester United right now, I'm thinking of Rashford still hanging around this area to score. Ramos specialises in getting in front of the defender at the near post, scoring one-touch finishes from this position. Now, not only does this distract the defence for lower crosses, something that could be huge if United do sign a right back, but it also gives more space for Marcus to operate in the box. There are rough edges to this. Despite Scouted Football pointing out that he likes to play with his back to goal, they also rightly mentioned that he's not the finished article yet, he's not completely secure. He's probably the rawest of our three options. He's also underperformed non-penalty expected goals this season, and he's taking not as many shots as you might expect for such a dominant Benfica side. Still, he is young and there is a lot of potential upside here. Ten Hag could probably coach him very nicely over time. He may get the smallest short-term impact of him of our three candidates, but maybe the biggest long-term impact. Anyway, I'll leave it to you guys to vote. I'm leaning to Osimhen or Ramos, and potentially Ivan Toney. I do like that shout. Get voting down below.